What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. After Sound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. All right, guys, I wanted to give two more rule set ideas that I think could be really cool for the game if they are adopted. Now, I just put these out there because I want to see how people react to them, and if they're favorable, then maybe we push them to the team, and if they're not, then feel free to tear it up and let me know how we can make it better, or maybe we just don't use it. Now, the first one is relatively easy. It's the second one that's going to be a little bit more difficult, but I'm more excited about that one if it's possible. But the first one is I'm going to call it the zombie rule set, where every monster essentially gets every monster gets resurrected, but I guess rebirth would be the ability. Now, I know that ability should only go to a card like a promo card like Rooney, and I'm not trying to devalue Rooney with this. I'm just trying to make a fun game where all of a sudden, a fun rule set where you go in knowing that every monster is going to come back to life, right? Each of them has that ability to come back to life once for just, one more hit, one more round to maybe make something happen. So again, I feel like it could be fun. We're seeing a lot of cool stuff with Resurrect and Rebirth happening now with Astral Entity and Rooney coming into the mix, and then all the Martyr stuff is giving Resurrect a whole other dynamic and combo, which has been really fun. So that's why I think something like that would be really cool, where every monster would get the Rebirth ability in a sense. So maybe we shouldn't call it Resurrect. We should call it Rebirth. But the rule set name would be like Zombie Mode or something. So that's the first one. I think it'd be a lot of fun, similar to like what they had on the test server, where every monster starts with 1 health. Although that's a little weird. I think you want to let the battle play out, but just give every monster a second chance. The second one, I think, is going to be much harder to implement because it's going to be very similar to probably what the team is going to try to do with the items and spells when it comes forward. So there's going to be a game mechanic update, and I have a feeling that this is probably going to be much more difficult, but it would essentially allow you to do a substitution. So there would be this kind of secondary time when you could go in and change your lineup. And I was thinking about just calling it seventh man, right? So you call it the seventh man. It's a play on basketball 6 man, right? So the way that you would set it up is you would set your team, set your lineup, but you would also know that as soon as you can see the other opponent's team, their summoner, what their overall strategy is, you could change one monster out, and it has to be within the same mana range, right? So like if you max out your mana and you remove a 4 mana monster, you can put another 4 mana monster in. Whether or not you can shift around the lineups, I feel like you probably should be able to, but again, that's going to take you to a whole other screen. But if you don't use all the mana, right? Let's say it's like a 60 mana game, but you only use 30 mana, then you could essentially use as much as you need to. You're subbing out one monster for another. But to me, that would add in another layer of this game, which I think could be really, really cool. And this isn't even like I wasn't even thinking about this as something that's like anti-bot, make it more difficult. I just think it'd be a lot of fun, right? Like I would love to set up my lineup and then also be thinking about okay, do I leave a little mana? Do I leave a little mana for the substitution, or do I just max it out now and be confident with my team and just deal with the consequences once I know? And then the added meta, the added strategy of looking at your opponent's team, and everybody here who plays the game knows, you get the feeling as soon as you see your opponent's lineup where you're like, oh, I'm gonna win, or I'm about to get crushed, right? We all kind of have that preliminary analysis, and so it would be cool to do something with that preliminary analysis. And I know we're probably infringing on the items and spells thing here, but being able to change one of your monsters is again, I don't know if it's a game mechanic that would be easily able to put in, because it doesn't sound like we're getting items and spells for another year. So it would be awesome if we were able to get this as a rule set added in, maybe for Rebellion, because I know Matt wanted to do some cool stuff with Rebellion in terms of changing around the game mechanics. But I don't know. To me, if Rebellion's not coming out until the end of the year, items and spells are not coming out till next year, I would this would be awesome if we could get it by the summer. Although again, I understand there's probably going to be a lot of coding, a lot of stuff that needs to go into it. So I'm probably just having a little bit of wishful thinking. But overall, it would just be a lot of fun to take that preliminary analysis and actually do something actionable with it. Like go back to your lineup. Everybody gets an additional 30 seconds, right? Or both players get an additional 30 seconds, and you can go in and like swap one card out for another card, right? You choose your card, you swap it out, add another one in, and then you roll with it, right? So again, those are the two ideas that I've had. I'll probably try to keep posting as more ideas come up. I'll try to keep posting them here to see what people think. But it's been cool to see how many new rule sets we've been getting. A lot of stuff that we've already expected, but there's also been some fun ones out there that maybe we haven't. So I want to know, and I'll close out this video. I would love to get your thoughts on those rule sets. But if you have rule set ideas of your own, the community's got some really smart, strategic people in there. We're all gamers in a sense, right? So let me know what kind of rule set you have in mind, and we'll continue the conversation in the comments section below. I'll catch you all in the next video and see you around the game. Have an amazing rest of your day. Take care.